Hi, Judy. Nice to see you here, and hello, everyone, as you are joining. My name is Guy. I'm here on the west coast of Canada, bringing you a slow flow practice again today. So most Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'm here. Morning, Patricia, or morning wherever you are. For today's practice, I just sort of outline my intent of any yoga practice is to settle the agitation, on the West Coast in the US, settle the agitation in the body and the mind, and also to dissipate any lethargy that you might be feeling also in the body and the mind so that you can be better positioned to meditate. So my view is that the movement practices, hello Deanna and Barbara, nice to see you again. My view is that the movement practices are really intended to bring us to a place where we can more readily meditate. So I'll lead you through a typical practice that I would be doing for myself, and hopefully you enjoy that. If you do find some value or benefit from this practice, as always, your donations are graciously accepted and help me to sustain this online offering. So with all of that, let's just get started. So come over to your mat, wherever that might be. And we're going to start today in a standing position. So find a nice stance, probably towards the top of your mat. Just dangling in here. Perhaps bringing your heels and toes to touch, but not necessarily. So finding a spot that you can balance. And then take a nice big inhale and a long exhale, sigh, settle, close your eyes, and begin to sense into your feet. So we'll maybe begin by spreading your toes. So rock the weight back, spread your toes out, place them back down. Feel that subtle shift of weight that goes from the toes to the heels, and try to find the position where you're nicely balanced between the front and the back of your foot or feet. And similarly, sensing into left and right. So noticing the weight gently shifting left to right, and finding that perfect pinpoint of balance. Still with your eyes closed here, begin to draw your awareness up your legs, dissipating any gripping or holding there, trying to balance as delicately and non-muscularly as possible. Grow up out of the pelvis, up through the heart, up through the top of your head, and sink into a lovely, long and slow, rhythmic breath. Feeling that gentle expansion of your torso in all directions as you're breathing in, and the gentle return of the exhale. From this place, if there's a reason why you came to practice today, connect with that. So why are you practicing today? And just begin to really feel into what is it that this body, mind of yours needs from your practice. Really move towards that feeling throughout the practice. As usual, I like to start our practice with a shared breath. So on your next exhale, just empty your lungs completely. Take a nice deep, full inhale. And open your mouth in a long exhale as you sigh. And welcome once again, my worldwide friends, to your yoga practice. So delightful to have you here. As you open your eyes, inhale, lift your arms up overhead, really stretch up nice and tall. And as you exhale, bring your hands down through heart center. Here, interlace your fingers and press your palms firmly down towards the ground, wrists still flexed. Keep your fingers interlaced. Inhale, send your hands forwards. Press your feet down and reach your hands up. Really stretch nice and tall like a cat waking up. And exhale, hands out wide. there's a word for what the cats and dogs do. It's called pandiculation. So inhale, hands come all the way up overhead. Hands touch. Exhale, hands come down the midline. Fingers interlace. Palms press down. Chest nice and proud. Inhale, hands forwards and all the way up towards the ceiling. Press your feet down, reach your hands up, pandiculate. And exhale, hands out wide, down to the sides of your body. From here, moving into our spinal column, inhale your hands all the way up overhead. And exhale, settle your shoulders. Holding on to your left wrist with your right hand, reach up, so get a bit of spinal extension, and exhale, begin to draw yourself over to the right. Notice your hips are sliding a bit to the left. And here, we're trying to open up the left side of your body, all the way from your left foot, left hip, left rib cage. And it is kind of like a big yawn. It's like finding that elongation, that sense of engagement and lengthening at the same time. Inhale to come up, separate your hands, exhale, settle your shoulders. Hold on to your right wrist with your left hand, reach up, and exhale over to the side. Find that lovely sense of length, but engagement or embrace through the right side of the body. Just gently opening up the right rib cage. A little bit of movement is totally okay. We're beginning to bring our awareness, our attention into our bodies. And that's what it's all about. Inhale, come up, and exhale, bring your hands all the way down. Inhale, bring your hands to your heart, and we'll take a little bit of a back bend here. So for the back bend, little bend in your knees, push your hips forwards as your legs straighten, push your belly forwards, lift your chest up, look at the ceiling, and find that sense of length through the front of the body. And from this place, as a sort of extra, you can keep your hands in prayer, but send them way overhead. Try to reach the other side of the room. Bring your biceps and your ears into contact. A nice big back bend. Oh, yum. Inhale to come up, and exhale, bring your hands down. It's very stimulating. Back bends tend to be like, oh my goodness, what just happened? Inhale, hands up, hands touch. And as you exhale, begin to turn to your right, palms face up. Keep gazing forwards. So right arm back behind you, left arm forwards. Inhale, hands overhead to touch. Here we're twisting your spine. Exhale, twist to the left, palms face up, gaze forwards. So the gaze forwards keeps a twist in your neck as well. Inhale, hands up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now we'll do this in the opposite direction. So inhale, open out to the right. Exhale to close. And inhale, open to the left. And exhale to close. Nice. Inhale, hands up overhead, palms face forwards. Begin to sit into the chair and bring your arms parallel to the ground. So here, this is called chair pose. Not necessarily anybody's favorite pose, but it starts to build up a little bit of heat into the body so that we can move more easily. So we've been juicing up the spine, waking up the body, getting the blood flowing, and that's really what it's all about. Sit down a little bit further, and then inhale, stand all the way up. Exhale, bring your hands down. Inhale, bring your hands up. Now we'll begin to get everything moving with some sun salutations. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Inhale, lengthen, half lift. And exhale, bend your knees, plant your hands, and then step one leg, the other leg back to a plank position. So this is the top of a push-up. Now if that's too challenging, drop down to your knees, no problem. What we're trying to do is to keep our bum a little bit lifted, so we don't want to sag into your low back. Keep your bum a little bit lifted. Feel a sense of your legs squeezing towards one another, building a bit of strength through your arms and shoulders here. And then from here, exhale, knees can come down, feet flatten out, lie down, but don't move your hands. Keep your hands exactly where they are. And then from here, Inhale to cobra. So cobra, we press your pelvic bone down, send your heart forwards, your elbows are beside the side of the body, and exhale, come down. Add a little twist to that. So inhale, come up, roll your right shoulder back, look over your right shoulder, your left shoulder might come forwards a bit, and exhale, unwind. Sort of like shoulder check in your car. And to the left, inhale, come up, roll the left shoulder back, look left, and exhale to unwind. On your next inhale, come up to your hands and knees, tuck your toes, and then hover your knees off the mat for a moment or two. This is called cat pose or bear pose. And then move your bum back and up as your head drops down. And just pat your legs side to side. So this upside down V shape, it's called downward dog. And bending one leg, straightening the other leg, just to get a little bit of awakening into the muscles of the backs of your legs. Nice. And then start to walk up the mat. Drape yourself at the top of the mat. Fold in and relax. Give your head a bit of a shake. Decompress your spine. And we'll move again. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold, bend your knees. And with bent knees, inhale, rise all the way up. And exhale. Bring your hands to your heart and just pause right here. There's no rush in the yoga practice. So hands at the heart. What are we doing when we're doing these practices? We're settling any agitation in your body, your mind, and getting rid of any kind of lethargy or dullness that you might be experiencing. Inhale your hands up. Separate your hands and exhale, sit down again. So, in other words, waking ourselves up but also calming ourselves down. A little twist here is called the supported twist. Big inhale. As you exhale, we'll bring your right hand outside your left knee, your left hand to your low back. And trying to keep your knees and your hips square, begin to rotate your spine. So your left shoulder goes back, and maybe you look over the left shoulder. Twist of the spine. Not trying to hurt yourself, just trying to get rid of any kinks in the body here. Then inhale, stand all the way up. And exhale, sit back down, arms stay lifted. And when you're ready, left hand outside right knee, right hand to low back. Get nice and long. Draw your belly in and twist and look over your shoulder. Oh yeah, wake up that spine. And then from here, inhale, hands all the way up. And exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Step to the middle of your mat, facing the long edge of your mat. Hands on your hips, bend your knees, and then jump your feet apart. Here, moving into a pose called Warrior One. Pick up the toes of both feet and pivot on both feet so you're facing forwards, left foot forwards, right foot back. So here, so you'll see the back foot is turned in quite a bit, front foot is directly forwards, front leg is bent, your back leg is straight. You might take a bigger step or you might take a smaller step, so find a spot that works for you. Lots of strength in your right foot, really pressing it down, engaging the calf, the thigh, the glute, and keeping that leg, that right leg strong. Bring your arms up overhead and bring your shoulders, so your shoulders are square with the front of your mat as you gaze forwards. Nice. This is called Warrior One, classic pose. From here, we'll bring our hands to touch in prayer overhead. Inhale to reach up. Now as you exhale, take a bit of a back bend. So we're trying to create this extension from through the front side of the right hip. This is called Exalted Warrior. And then inhale, come back up. As you exhale, straighten your front leg and bring your hands maybe to your upper thigh, your knee, your shin, and trying to create a system of support for that left leg as it engages into this stretch. It's only going so far as is comfortable and reasonable for you. Some of us, blocks here or books or something might be useful to provide some support as well. From that place, bend your knee again, rise all the way back up, hands overhead. Pivot on your left heel, pivot on the right heel, and even bring that left heel in a bit more, or left foot in a bit more. Bend your right knee. So we're setting up for warrior one on the other side. Right foot forwards, left foot back, left leg straight, right leg bent. Nice and strong in that left leg. Bring both arms up overhead, palms touching, thumbs overlapped at the back. Settle into this. And then inhale, reach up. And exhale, take that back bend. Exalted warrior one. Oh yeah. A nice extension through the front of the left hip. Keep that left leg engaged. Really push your left foot in the mat. And then inhale, come up. Straighten your front leg. And fold from below your belly button into the hip crease there. Fold forwards. Hands to the thigh, the knee, the shin, the ground, some blocks. Like maybe you have something you can hold on to. That's kind of nice, I like that. Feel a sense of muscular support through that right leg. Make sure everything's nice and safe and strong. We're not just trying to stretch and rip our muscles apart. We're trying to be long and strong at the same time. Beautiful. And then from here, let's slowly bend your front knee. Inhale your hands all the way up overhead. Pivot on the right heel, hands to your hips, a little bend in your knees, and jump your feet together. Go side to side a couple of times. Finding a bit of poise, peace, equanimity. So the work that we're doing with our low body is helping us to dissipate that agitation, right? And we're getting rid of whatever's stuck in the body here. Take your feet as wide as your mat. So your toes touch the edge of the mat, your heels turn slightly inward. Inhale your hands overhead, maybe touch in prayer overhead. And here, exhale, begin sitting down only so far as you can go comfortably into a squat. Oh yeah, wake up those hips. As you inhale, stand up slowly. Feel the use of your gluteal muscles. As you exhale, sit down slowly. This is called slow flow, but not necessarily slow and easy flow. So take what you can from the practice. Inhale, come up. And exhale, go all the way down. And this time at the bottom, wherever the bottom is for you, just linger. A little bit of pressure between your elbows and your knees if you're down that spot. If your heels are way popped off the mat, you can always lean forwards and hold onto the ground a bit. Or you could just come up a bit higher. But we're feeling that sense of engagement wherever we're at into the inner hips. Keeping our spine nice and tall. Waking up our legs. Inhale, stand up again. And exhale, hands down to your hips. Take your feet even wider so that your toes are still pointed out, heels still turned in. Bend your knees again. Nice. Bring your hands forwards, palms facing one another. Take a big inhale. And as you exhale, bring your left hand to your heart, your right hand out 90 degrees, looking out over your right thumb. This is archer pose. So embodying your inner archer, sort of like a goddess riding a horse, bow and arrow in hand, looking out over the thumb. What's the target? The target is your yoga practice, your intent. Nice. As you inhale, hands come forwards, legs straighten. Oh yeah, it's nice to straighten the legs. And then exhale, bend again. We'll bring that right hand to your heart, left hand swoops out and you look to the left. Keeping true to our aim, regardless of where we're looking. We'll do 2 more side to side. Inhale, straighten your legs. Exhale, archer to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, archer to the left. Beautiful. Inhale, center. Exhale, hands to your hips. Square your feet. Bend your knees and jump your feet back together again and again. Side to side a few times. Now we've gone through some warming of the joints and the spine, some movement, some sun salutations to get the blood flowing, some standing work. The next thing that usually comes into practice is balancing. So let's try a couple of balances. First one is eagle. And I like to do this a little bit differently than maybe others do. Bring your toes to turn inward, heels out, and sit down until your knees touch. So here, and we'll just keep your hands on your hips. What we've done is we've internally rotated your hips. We want to keep that internal rotation for the pose. So shift your weight a little bit over to your left leg. Keep that internal rotation of the right leg. Just bring it up and over. And maybe you'll get a little hook of your foot behind your calf. Maybe not. So your options would be a little kickstand, a lift, or if you can sustain that internal rotation, a tuck of your foot behind the calf. There's lots of bend in the knees and the hips. And now the arms in eagle, we got the right leg on top, so your right arm goes underneath. Inhale, hands up overhead, and exhale, right arm under. Option to grab your shoulders, or bring your hands, backs of hands touch, fronts of hands touch. This is eagle pose. Squeeze firmly. It's a compression, it's a balance, it's a challenge. No doubt about it. And then inhale, release arms and legs at the same time, toes touching, and exhale, bend your knees again. So, I don't know if I mentioned it, it's called goat pose. That's drawn more from martial arts kind of style of practice. Shift your weight over to the right leg, keep the left leg internally rotated, bring it up and over to wherever it works for you. Sit into it. Now your left leg's on top, so your left arm has to go underneath. Inhale, hands up, and exhale, left arm under right. Now eagles, which we have around here, lots of them in fact, they've got a great field of vision, so see if you can see into your peripheral vision nice and wide, even though you're gazing forwards. Eagle eyes. And then from here, inhale to release, arms and legs, and exhale, hands come down. Quite stimulating, so let's take a cleansing breath. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, wash your hands down. I think I need one more of those, so let's do one more. Inhale, hands up. And exhale, hands come down. With your hands on your hips, we'll take your right foot and turn it out to the side. So now we're externally rotating your right hip. And either bring your heel to your ankle, your calf, or somewhere on your upper leg. It can in fact be across the knee. As long as you're pressing your knee to your foot to your knee. Find a spot. There's a little rebounding in the left leg, and then bring your hands up to your heart. Wobbling is normal and actually good. Means your body, mind are navigating something new. So allow the wobbles. Bring your hands up overhead, separate your hands. Let your shoulders integrate, but keep a sense of brightness through your arms. Balancing like a tree. Trees move in the breeze. They're not telephone poles, they're trees, they're organic. Nice big inhale. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale your knee forwards. And exhale, let it go. A little shake, a little shake. Dissipate any tension in that left leg. Turn your right foot open, right hip externally rotated. A little bit of rebounding into the right leg to get that sense of connection. Bring your left foot up wherever it's going to go. Ankle, calf, or wherever. They're all good. The only potential issue is the right hip. Keep the right hip in place, otherwise I tend to fall down. So right hip nice and integrated. Hands up to your heart. Finding the connection from your feet to your pelvis, to your heart, from your heart to the heavens, all the way up. And land here. Finding your breath, finding your breath, finding your poise. One big inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart. Inhale your knee forwards. And exhale, let everything go. Step to the back of your mat. Now we move into face down or supine position. So these tend to be focused onto the muscles of your back. Inhale, hands overhead. Exhale, fold all the way forwards. Walk your hands up the mat to that darn plank position. And just gently, knees down, feet flatten out, lie down. Place your chin on the mat and take your hands to the sides of your body, palms face down. Zip your heels together, so inner leg lines squeezing together. And then inhale, just fly. Lift your hands, lift your torso, lift your face, lift your feet. Squeeze your legs together. Sort of like you're flying in one of those crazy squirrel suits I see online sometimes. People flying down the side of cliffs with a suit that's like so weird. Inhale, come up, and exhale, go down. Put your left cheek on the mat, look to the right, and completely relax. And now we'll do another back bend, so we're focusing on strengthening your spine. This time interlace your fingers behind your back, squeeze your feet together again, and again rise up. This time you're trying to take your hands away and up. This is variation on locust pose. Again, feeling the rhythm of your breathing. Squeeze your hands firmly together. And then slowly come down. This time put your right cheek on the mat, look to the left, and again take a few breaths there. Settling in. Settling in. Lovely. Chin on the mat, hands by your shoulders. Push up to your hands and knees, take your knees wide. And push back to child's pose. Head down, arms down. And enjoy that place. As an optional extra, you could bring your hands into prayer. Then pivot at your elbows, bring your hands behind your head. You might walk your elbows more forwards. And this really gets into the triceps muscles. So the muscles on the underside of your arm. Oh yeah. And then slowly, hands come forwards and walk your hands back in as you come to a seat. And from the seated position, simply swing your legs out front. So your bum is on the mat. And I'll turn to face you. Now in this seated position, just to get the spine nicely settled, heels together, big toes touch, hands beside the side of your body, palms on the ground. Little tuck of your chin, and then press your hands down, try to lift your chest up, drive the backs of your knees down. So this is called Dandasana or stick pose. It looks like nothing's going on, but quite powerful. So you're trying to lift your bum off the mat by pressing your hands down. Nice, and then soften. Nice. Bring your right foot in and place it against your left inner thigh. Janu Shurshasana, head of the knee pose. Inhale your hands overhead and exhale, fold all the way forwards. This, so your hands can go where your hands can reach. So the mat, the shins, or maybe the bottoms of your feet. And the subtle bending of your elbows will draw you in a bit more. We're trying to stay nicely engaged on the back of that left leg. And as an option only, you can bring your forehead and try to bring it towards your knee, so there's a bit of a tucking of your chin. And this challenges your breathing, but that's a good thing. Feel that easy rhythmic flow of breath. Good. And then inhale, slowly rise up. Lean back, extend your right leg. Bring your left foot in, place it against your inner thigh. Shoot energy out through your heel. Inhale your hands overhead. And exhale, fold forwards. Again, bring your hands wherever your hands can go. So on the mat or the carpet or wherever you're at, maybe on your shin, maybe your foot. Gaze forwards and try to drive the back of that right knee down. And then maybe bend your elbows, and as an option only, round your forehead. Try to bring your forehead to your knee. It's a bit of a rounding for the upper back, which we're also good at as we look at our phones all the time. And then slowly, slowly rise back up, lean back, extend your left leg long, and then a big forward fold, Paschimottanasana it's called. Put your hands up and then folding from way below your belly button, a hip hinge. Reach towards your feet. And if you can hold the feet, hold the feet. If you can only reach your ankles, hold your ankles. But keep your gaze forwards this time, so no spinal rounding. Just trying to bend your elbows and fold in, sort of like a jackknife, I guess is the best analogy. Putting things away. This is an intense elongation through the whole back line of your body. So from the heels to the backs of the calves, the thighs, the glutes, even up the back of your spine. Oh yeah. And then let's slowly, slowly rise back up again, lean back. This time bring the bottoms of your feet together. They could be farther away or closer to you, just whatever works. Hands can hold your feet or your ankles. Lift up, so pull up, bring your heart forwards, and then begin to round in and look towards your feet, your belly button. There's a little bit of pressure with your elbows on your shins. Not much. And we're attending to the muscles on the inner leg line, the groin muscles. Trying to find a place of softness as you breathe here. Nice. And then slowly, slowly rise up. Hold both knees. Squeeze them in and send them long again. Give your legs a little bit of a shake. And then from here, we'll move into a seated twisting pose. So first, bring your right foot in and jump your right foot over your left knee. So it's just outside the left knee. Option only here, and it's just an option. You lean to the left and bring that left foot beside the right hip. So either the leg is straight out or the leg is bent in. Take your right hand, place it behind you, and you're creating a second spine. So you really press down, draw your belly in, and then you start to turn to the right. I like to use my left hand on my right knee and sort of draw myself in. But you could be using your elbow, sort of a stop sign, or pulling it in. The idea is to get tall, pull your belly in, draw that knee across the body, and look over your right shoulder. A seated twist here. Now twists, we usually reserve these more sustained twists for the end of the practice because your body's more ready to receive that kind of movement. And then that slowly unwind. Counter twist to the left, decompress your low back, and then come back through center, extend both legs out front. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. So bend your left leg, jump your left foot over top of your right knee. Dry throat here. Gotta be able to talk. Maybe you lean to the right and bring your left foot in. That's just an option. And then take your right hand, or no, left hand behind you. You gotta create that second spine. Left hand behind you, lift up. I'm up on my fingertips of my back hand. Right hand holds the knee, or the elbow holds the knee, and you draw yourself in. Stay nice and tall, belly's in, twisting the spine, and a good internal rotation of that outer hip. Might sense that into your IT band. Piriformis muscle might be sensing this as well. Nice. And then slowly unwind and counter twist again. Then both legs out front. Position your bum roughly in the middle of the mat and lie down. Hold your knees in towards you. Give yourself a nice squeeze. And then same hand on same knee. Take your knees for some hip circles. So drawing circles with both knees in one direction and then the other direction. Yeah. And drop both feet down to the mat. How are we doing on time? We're doing all right. From here, moving into reclining figure 4. And we'll walk your feet in until you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. And now interlace your fingers across your belly. We're trying to take your hands out of this for the time being. Take your right ankle and place it on top of your left knee. And flex that right foot back towards you. Then slowly lift your left foot from the ground and make your left leg bent about 90 degrees. Really try to draw that left leg towards you without using your hands, and your right knee away from you without using your hands. This is an active figure 4. Now you can assist this if you want with your hands, but that's just a choice, and that's why I took your hands out in the first place. So if you like, left hand behind the left thigh, right hand on the right knee, and find those same actions. Left knee towards you or left leg towards you, right knee away. Oh yeah, reclining figure 4. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly release both feet to the mat. Flip-flop your knees side to side a few times. A bit of clunking going on in this body. Clunk, clunk. And again, fingers interlace across your belly. Left ankle on top of the right knee. You might walk your right foot in as you lift the right foot from the ground. And you try to bring your right leg more towards your body and left knee more away from you. So you're doing a very active action here rather than a passive one. So we're using the muscles that are being addressed. Not just stretching, but stretching and activating at the same time. So the choice, if you like, right hand behind the right thigh, left hand to left knee, and draw the right leg towards you, left knee away from you. Oh yeah. And again, slowly release your feet down to the mat, flip-flop your knees side to side. Bridge pose, or if you like to do wheel pose, go for it. Bridge pose, Walk your feet in until you can just touch your heels with your fingertips. Your feet are about hip width apart. Bend your arms 90 degrees so your palms face one another, sort of like robot arms. And then pressing with your feet and your elbows, lift your bum off the mat. And you're going to feel more and more weight across the upper back, not the back of your head, but more the upper back. Keep lifting your pelvis up, getting a lovely extension through the front of the hips. The legs are nice and strong. And then let your hands drop down to the mat. Lift and tuck one shoulder under, tuck the other shoulder under, interlace your fingers. Keep lifting up nice and strong here. The big front side extension at the end of the practice. And then when you're ready, same way out as we went in. Release your shoulders and your hands, release your spine. Unwind all the way down. Flip-flop your legs. And then draw your knees into your chest again. Good squeeze. And here, send both feet up to the ceiling, both arms up to the ceiling. And just lazily roll your ankles and your wrists in one direction and the other direction. And then give it a good shake. So shake your wrists randomly, elbows, ankles. Let's get rid of anything that's still in the way. Shake it off. And then lie down. As you lie down, nice big inhale. A long exhale. Your feet flop open. There's a little bit of a tuck of your tailbone, a little tuck of your chin. Lots of length through the back of the body. And sinking into a deep awareness of your own breathing. Gentle rise, a gentle fall. It can be quite helpful to keep your awareness on the tip of your nose, feeling the coolness of your inhale and the warmth of your exhale. This gentle rise and fall of your breath. Apparently the ideal length for Savasana is about 17 minutes. So remaining here as long as you need. Notice how you're feeling now at the end of your practice. Notice how your body is feeling. Notice how your breath is moving. Notice what's going on in the mind. And trying to bring to the fore that centered, authentic person that lives inside of you. Bringing them out for the rest of your day today. That's who everybody in your life wants you to be. So fully embodying yourself here and allowing that person to show up into your life. We'll take a shared breath to mark the end of your practice. Exhale to empty. A nice big inhale. And a long sigh. And thank you once again, my worldwide friends, for sharing this space and sharing your practice with one another today. So lovely to have you all here. I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead. Namaste. Thank you, Patricia. So as always, I'll remain online for a bit, and just to reiterate that if there was any sort of value or benefit to you from this practice, your donations are certainly more than welcome. I'm going to be saving up the donations so that I can buy myself a mic so that the sound quality is a little bit better when I'm broadcasting. And I will be here again on this coming Tuesday, offering a bit more of a meditative practice. And then the next Thursday, I am off to see my daughter, and so I won't be offering a class that day. Off to a place called Tofino on the West Coast, where she's making clothes with her boyfriend. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Andrea. Thank you, Barbara. That's great. Lovely to hear all these things. And I do try to record these and make them available through other channels. So if you look at my profile, you'll find any links there. Thank you, Patricia. Yep, she's growing up too fast. Kids do that. She's going to be, she turned 24, I think. Yeah. Thank you so much, Valerie. Really appreciate that. If you have any requests that you'd like to see offered here, more than happy to consider those and bring you what it is that you need. And thanks for letting me practice as well. It's good to do these things with other people. Keeps me accountable. All right, everyone. Do have a beautiful day. Take care.